But just want to say, we just, it's a, one way, sitting here has been a period of introspection and been extremely enlightening. uh, Time for stock taking, and we have reached, sometimes you look back, and I look back at 15 years back, when being an IS officer, I did finally, we had access to email, and I knew, I mean, at that point of time, practically very few people had access to internet. And from there today, today we talk of 10, 12% penetration, 80%, 75% penetration, mobile phone. We reached somewhere. But I think all this debate and all the discussion that we are doing is not going to be possible unless we have further action to ensure access, make it affordable, create content that is relevant and useful, which can actually be accessed by people, and overall create the next level of innovation from 0%, let's say, in sometime in 95, 96, to 10% in 2010, 11 or somewhere, to 100%, let's say, by 2020 or 2025. And that's the transition that we need to make a move, really, to have relevance to a whole lot of issues that we are raising today. And I think this is what the government is really trying to attempt in terms of what efforts and initiatives that are going on. On the infrastructure side, so the three policies that have been released, the national policy on telecom, which largely tries to see how to make carriage more easy. The national policy on IT, which tries to see how the content, and everyone spoke about the security aspects, the regulation aspect of IT, and openness of it. There's a national open policy which was approved by the cabinet about a month back, which refers to a discussion which was raised without this provision in RTI, that all the content should be available. How should it be available? Where is the infrastructure and the ability for people to put it on net? So national open data policy actually provides for that. I don't want to get into details, but yes, the content part of it, the IT policy, talks about how does the content get regulated and how does it become more accessible, the content. And lastly, which has often been left out in this debate, is the devices on which all this is going to happen. I mean, we talk of cost for several years. When we said in 1996, people, how many of us could actually afford a computer, let alone an internet connection? And for, the computers used to cost those days upwards of 50,000 rupees, when the actual material which went into it would be, even those days, would have been less than 10,000 rupees. There was some segment which was controlling the cost of the computer, and no thought has gone, much thought has gone. The medical devices, the benefit, Osama spoke about how people could actually benefit in terms of health services that can be provided. But most of the medical devices today which are driven on technology are actually out of the reach of common people, not because they would cost that much to make, but actually because the way the manufacturing of these devices takes place does not allow them to be made available at a price which is cheaper. So it's a combination of all these three issues which is extremely important. The infrastructure, the carriage part of it, the content part of it, and the devices which go behind it. In each of this, we need to make them relevant to the local context. And the National Optical Fiber Network project, the CSC project, is about making it available, accessible to people. The open data policy on the content side, the e-governance initiatives on the content side, we are learning as we move on, as we're moving forward. And on the devices side, how do you make products which are relevant to India? And we are not really having a homogenized environment of producing same products all over the world and everyone compelled to use it. I think these are the three major issues. If we are able to cater to the specific requirements of India, I think by 2025 we would be able to see ourselves translate from this 10 to 12% to a 90 to 100% environment. And I think that's a challenge. That's a challenge in which government, industry, civil society, all have to collectively play their respective roles so that the checks and balances can be maintained and the pace of progress. In fact, India is yet remarked as, for a country, I mean, it is in some way been treated as how we have made this progress, been reasonably good progress. The next level of progress could even be more remarkable, and that's, I think, some of this debate which has been wonderful can help us to pave the right balance between all of this. Thank you very much.